Hello, everybody. Welcome to a Toonkind roleplay read aloud. My name is Whis. I am one of your actors for today, and I am joined by the delightful and wonderful and spectacular best friend of mine, Jazz Hands.
Hi everyone, it's me, the blushing Vwild, who has been absolutely bamboozled by their bestie. And I hold up my two characters who are coming in today, Lin and Network, who's babying this.
Yes. We are going back in time, quite some way. We started doing this in March 2021. Wow.
Yeah.
So this takes place quite some time ago, before Linton's recovery from the whole thing.
Yeah,
um,
indeed.
Before Rye was officially adopted, before a whole lot of things. So, Lynn still has bandages everywhere and Digitrade
Heavily,
legs.
heavily cursed. We
Yes.
just put it down to heavily cursed to peck.
Yeah. Um, but it is taking place on a very calm day. In the main room of Network, and Lynn is working at her desk, and Rye is on the floor drawing.
Mm-hmm. Lynn's in that. She's at that big desk with the fancy swivel chair, and yeah, Rye is on the softest floor carpet imaginable. It used to be for big stagehand get-togethers, so everyone could sit on the floor together, with bottles of cider and unwind at the end of a week or after a big meal. But hey, it is now perfect for being comfy as he draws.
Hey, Lynn, can I look at your tail for a sec?
And Lynn looks up from the case file she'd been writing in, pen hovering mid motion, curious head tilt, and just goes, uh, sure. Sure, kiddo.
Rye gets up from the floor and goes over to her, looking very carefully at how it sits, the jutting angle, and the curl at the end.
And Lynn, after debating, going back to her work, hears the hum and just gently baps him gently on the head with the end. Okay, what's going on in that bright brain of yours, eh?
Rye giggles.
Nothing much,
He answers.
it's really soft and curly, except for this bit.
He muses, looking at that sharp angle in her tail.
And she glances at the tail and gives it another wave. Almost dismissive shrug. That old thing? Yeah, it definitely gives me quite the distinctive look. Been like this since... How old was I? Young. Had a few accidents.
Rye paused.
Wait, it wasn't always like that?
And she gives another shrug. Nah, kiddo. Just became that way. I actually liked how distinctive it made me, so it just kept cropping up when I went through some little redesigns. How'd they remember it any different?
He nodded.
Okay, which means I should. Okay,
He gives Lynn a quick hug before heading back to his drawing.
That gets a curious blink before she just chuckles, just a little head shake. This kid is full of mysteries and curiosities. She goes back to her work. Just keep an ear out on him, and there is a very soft smile now on her face.
He hums contentedly to himself while he draws, little stick legs kicking as he lays on his belly. Then,
Nettle, what's your favorite color?
In response, the nearest visible part of the wall to him glows bright yellow gold, a hum vibrating the floor under him. happy, safe, gold, warm.
He nods, then looks down at his paper.
Second favorite? I already used the yellow for that.
Almost sounds like a laugh, and then turns thoughtful. And there is a faint gust that tugs at his scarf. Scarf red warm.
Red! Okay.
He grabs his red pencil and starts furiously colouring.
Vwild Network is almost omnipresent as their awareness spans the entire building. They still do seem to focus in now, the wind tugging at his hoodie. Almost like someone trying to sneak a peek at what he's drawing.
He's not trying to hide it as such. There are 3 figures on his paper for sure. But he was mostly finished when he asked his question, so the quick colours of red didn't take long. He sits up and holds his drawing in both hands, looking at it proudly.
Yeah, that works.
Lin does perk up now from a slight hunch over her desk, looking over with his ears pricked, especially as Network gives her the most gentle of nudges. By Network standards. Oh? Now I'm curious. What you got there, little Rye? And there is also the almost permanent fond smile on her face when she's looking at him, spinning herself out of the chair and standing so she can make her way over and kneel on the rug to see.
Ryan turns it around in his hands so that Lin and Network can both look at it. The biggest figure on the page is clearly Lin. His drawing is certainly not as good as Lin's effort, but has a little detail. Certainly less than what his handwriting would suggest. Her hat, tail, coat, all her little details were there, though simplified somewhat. Her legs had been too hard, having been drawn straight instead. The next one was another yellow monkey. No kink in the tail, and she had a red skirt and coat with a red flower behind one ear instead of a hat. The smallest one was another monkey, but black, wearing a red scarf and white hood that 2 little ears poked out of, and a shorter tail.
And Network gives an almost squeak before then a delighted hum. The walls glowing a very bright gold, and all around them just, oh, look, look, look! The network of ours, family of ours, little warmth bringers. And Lin, meanwhile, has fluffed up considerably, a giant grin on her face. Oh, would you look at that? That's holy pig, my little rat. That's us. You, ha! Aren't you a creative one? And you even, oh, little shadow monkey.
Ryan blushes.
Well, I'm not very good at drawing houses, so I thought I would try and imagine what Nettle would look like if she was U-shaped, and then I did me too.
Oh, that gets both a physical head ruffle and a side hug from Lin, and a very soft, enthusiastic little tornado of wind from Network. Not enough to blow things away, but enough that it clearly conveys the excitement. And a fine job you did indeed. A wonderful little family. Ah.
Ryan snuggles into the affection keenly, almost radiating warmth. He was that pleased.
I'm glad you like it.
Don't just like it, kiddo. I peckin' love it. And I think Sweetheart agrees. And at that hum that can actually be felt in their chests with how it resonates, Network is definitely wholeheartedly agreeing.
He giggles.
It's not really good enough to go on that wall, but can I put it up somewhere?
He asks.
Kiddo, this is definitely going on the wall if you let it. Network runs on bonds and relationships, and I can tell you, something like this, I'm pretty sure we might have to wear sunglasses indoor if it went up. We could also frame it on the wall or pop it on the fridge if you'd prefer, though. That right, sweetheart? And there is another confirmative hum. Anyway, good. Yes, yes, yes. Lovely new thing.
He actually spluttered a little.
But isn't that wall special?
That wall is the wall of love, kiddo. What's more full of love than a family picture?
Network could tell he was utterly delighted at the thought. Lin could tell a little bit more, though. 21 insight. He's not just happy. He's a bit confused and overwhelmed. In a, I have all this love coming at me, what do I do with it kind of way. He could just about cry. If he were the type to purr, he'd be vibrating.
And Lin gives his shoulder the faintest squeeze and the side hug she's kept up. Her and Network are going to give this kid all the love he deserves. And one day he will know what to do with it.
He looks at his drawing for a long moment.
Can... Is that really okay to go on that wall?
It most certainly is, kiddo. More than okay. It's pickin' fantastic.
He does actually squeal a little and puts it down, standing up.
I gotta... does it go up with tape? I think there was tape in the box. Tape? Or something else?
And there is a mutual laugh from both Network and Lin. Come on, we'll show you. And Lin is going to hop up with Network assisting with a soft extra burst of warm, excited air and guide him over to the wall. And Rye, with what he did with perception, it's just he can see that the wall is golden as Lin extends a hand out gently. Network actually brightening the wall even more so that rainbow web of strings are all visible. And the sheets shift and move slightly, rustling as Network organizes and decides. Lin herself trailing her hand just slightly, hovering over it all. And there, a spot opening up in the middle, underneath the layers, to be straight against the wall surface. By a very weathered and well-worn old sheet at the back. It's a blueprint of Network drawn in shaky white crayon. A very simple bundle of shapes representing a small monkey also drawn next to it. Tail a squiggle and a big smile. And a little spot glowing right next to it. So bright gold it almost switches back to white. I think Sweetheart's got just the right spot. Why not do the honors, little Rye?
His eye is completely round, sparkling with delight and awe. He holds his drawing up to the spot just above Network's wall.
Do I just put it there? And it will stay?
Indeed, kiddo. Give it a shot. And it's always fun to watch the step afterwards. And Lin is grinning in the way that shows she is incredibly excited. She's seen her kid do magic, and now he's going to see her favorite homely display of magic. Network's show.
Rye was confused but excited. Lin being excited only made him more so. He looks at the wall and then smooths the paper against the surface gently.
The picture fits on perfectly, sticking fast to the point, and then the gold radiates outwards, completely sealing it in place. A new string forms immediately in a tiny microburst of sparks on the point of contact. Lightning fast racing up the wall and into the ceiling. A weave of sparkling gold and vibrant red yarn before embedding into the structure. There is another hum of magic through the air, and then a shuffle as the sheets are sorted and settled back into place. With this new addition perfectly peeking through for all to see. A new warm spot nestled in the centre, surrounded by the rest of the corn maze family.
There are a few moments of stunned silence from Rye, his expression about as much as that 8 capital O emoji that you can get without having a jaw to drop. But how else can I describe that emoji? I don't know. But then he started jumping up and down and lets out an excited, squealed laugh, utterly delighted and frankly unable to remember how 2 words, because that was the coolest damn thing he had ever seen.
And Lynn's laughing along with him. Carefree and bright and giddy. And the air is considerably warmer and full of loved soft family as network breeze weaves around them both. The hum not carrying actual words, but more a string of feelings. A hummed happy song. A perfect fit.
Really set us up for the different kinds of scenes that we have in our DMs, didn't it? So cute!
God, I think this was one of our first ones of this. Just
Yeah.
trip down memory lane.
Gosh, Rye referring to Lin as Lin. Whack.
It sure is.
Oh dear. Well, that was a nice short little 15 or so minute trip down memory lane. Thank you everyone for listening. And we will see you at the next time we do this. Mwahaha.
Indeed. Bye-bye.